morning, dear students. I am Miss NAVEDA SHAIKH from Brahan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika MCGM virtual class. I welcome all my dear students to another and interesting session. In today's session, we'll be learning something new and interesting from a science textbook. So let's get started.
Good morning, dear students. I am Mrs. Naveda Sheikh from MCGM Virtual Class. I welcome all my dear students to another and interesting session. In today's class, we'll be studying a very interesting chapter from your Science 2 textbook, and that is Social Health. This is the very beginning of the chapter, and it is a very important chapter at this age of yours. It is about social health. Now, we all know the meaning of health and what is the meaning of social, right? When you talk about socially active means if you are communicating with people outside your house, your family members outside your house, okay? We're not talking about just your family members, we're talking about people who are outside and your neighbors, your friends. We're talking about all those people, including your family and your friends and your relatives, okay? Now, people around us, we see that there are some people who are happy, some are sad, some are depressed. Nowadays, it is very important to identify people who are depressed and who are not doing well. So, we're going to learn about all those things in this chapter. How do you cope up with this? If a person does not is not very active along with your friends, amongst your friends, or along with family members, then there could be a possibility of some any kind of problem that they're facing through. And how do you detect that? How do you come to know about the problems and how you can solve that as a part of the family or your friends? That all we'll come to know in this chapter. So let's get started and learn something very interesting and very useful in our life through this chapter. In this chapter, we'll be learning about social health. Basically, is social health is something which is related to the people around us and how we accept each other. Okay, do not talk ill about somebody if they are having any kind of disability. Ping, uh, do not pick up on them. Okay, ऐसा हम लोग उन्हें नाम नहीं रखना चाहिए. All that things are related to being socially healthy. Okay, फैक्टर्स एंडेंजरिंग द सोशल हेल्थ. ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ें हैं जो हमारी सोशल हेल्थ को endanger करती है, मीन्स खतरे में है उसकी वजह से. So that is also that we're going to learn in this chapter. And at last we'll be learning about stress management. Now all these things are very important at this stage because you are in 10th standard. You will be learning, you have learned so much throughout the year, and during this pandemic that was going on, that is coronavirus, that we all have gone through, and we know how it is, how stressful it is to be at home and study from home. People are not able to concentrate. They're not getting the type of education that one needs to get. Okay, and it becomes very stressful. And after that, after giving examination, you think now what to do, where to apply, which college to go. Now there are many stress that a child or people around you are going through. Along with your parents are also under stress, your friends. Okay, there are different people dealing with some or the other kind of stress. Right now you all are having stress of studies only, or some other family issues that people might be facing. Okay, so how do you manage that stress? That we're going to learn in this chapter ahead. Okay, so it is a very interesting and a very important chapter. So let's continue. The very first thing, always your elders tell you that you should go outside and outside the home, and you should interact with relatives and friends. Yes or no? हम लोग को बोला जाता है कि go for a walk, do not watch television so much, do not sit on the computers or do not watch your mobile phone so much. Go outside, go home, go outside your house, interact with your relatives, play outdoor games. Yes or no? हम लोग ये सब बोला जाता है ना, and that is very important because in earlier days people did not have televisions, they did not have mobile phones, they did not have internet, they did not have computers, and they had uh, talking to each other was very important in earlier days. Okay, and that was one of the reason कि पहले लोग इतने ज़्यादा suicides नहीं करते थे और depressions वगैरह से ज़्यादा लोग परेशान नहीं होते थे. But nowadays people are limited to themselves, they have limited themselves to the mobile phones. वो लोगों के पास बोलने के लिए, बात करने के लिए लोग नहीं है, because सब अपने अपने मोबाइल फोन्स में या अपने कामों में बिजी है. and that is why the elders always instruct us to go out, interact with people. You come to know about any problem that they're facing through. अगर हम लोग किसी से बात करते तो हम लोग को पता चलता है कि कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है इसे, राइट? एंड हमारी भी कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है तो हम लोग किसी से शेयर करते तो उन्हें भी पता चलता है, एंड दे हेल्प अस इन सम और द अदर गुड वे. And they also tell you that do not spend continuous time on television and phone and internet. So, and it is, why do they say this? Because it is importance of physical health and cleanliness and staying healthy that they want to inculcate in you. Okay, so when you go out, there is physical health. आप लोगों को बोला जाता है बाहर जाके खेलो. Now, when you're sitting at home playing PUBG or Subway Surfers or many games that you are playing, okay, there are so many types of games that you play right now. There are Playbox, Xbox, okay, so PSP, so many games that you have nowadays. But that games do not make you healthy. You are just sitting there in front of a screen and you're just playing on the television, and that is not making you healthy. In fact, it is damaging your eyesight, it is making you less active, and when you go outside and play, it makes you physically well. Okay, means you can run, you do not become obese. Okay, आप लोग मोटापा नहीं होता है. जो बच्चे बाहर खेलते हैं, अच्छी तरीके से भागते हैं, तो दैट इज वन ऑफ द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. आप लोगों का दिमाग अच्छा चलता है बिकॉज यू गेट ऑक्सीजन when you're running. You tend to inhale more and you get more amount of oxygen, which is very good. Okay, so it is making you physically healthy if you're going outside and playing more. Nowadays, due to coronavirus, it is advisable that you stay at home, but once the condition becomes good enough, you can always go outside and play. Okay, then cleanliness and staying healthy, this is one of the very important thing that elders try to inculcate in us. Okay, they tell you that do not litter in house, या वहाँ चीजें नहीं फेंको, चीज अपनी जगह पर रखो, और eat healthy, stay healthy. They always tell us all these things, and that is actually very useful to all the people around in the house and around us. So there are certain factors which are affecting our social health, like education, financial status, gardens, social and physical condition of the surrounding, मतलब हमारे आसपास की कैसी condition है, socially and physically both, social environment of the surrounding, residential area, हम लोग जहाँ रहते हैं वो area के बारे में, water, toilets, political conditions, मतलब उस वक्त वहाँ पर किस तरीके के political conditions चल रहे, कहाँ किसी वजह से वो झगड़े तो नहीं हो रहे हैं या कुछ problems तो नहीं create हो रहे हैं. That all things also affect our social health. Then you have playgrounds, social treatment. अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो उसके लिए ट्रीटमेंट होना बहुत ज़रूरी है हमारी सोशल हेल्थ के लिए. सोशल सेफ्टी, ट्रांसपोर्ट फैसिलिटीज, एजुकेशन एंड जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज, satisfying basic needs of persons, food, clothing, shelter, medicines. All right. तो अगर ये सारी चीज़ें हमारे पास है या मिलती है हमें सफिशिएंट अमाउंट में, तो इट हेल्प्स टू मेक यू सोशली हेल्दी. एंड इफ इट इज़ नॉट, देन इट विल वर्सन द कंडीशन. ओके, वो हमारी सोशल हेल्थ को इफेक्ट करेगी. अगर एजुकेशन सही नहीं होगा और अगर पॉलिटिकल कंडीशंस, अगर वहाँ पर कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स चल रहे हैं, तो लैक ऑफ एजुकेशन की वजह से पॉलिटिकल कंडीशंस में हम लोग पॉलिटिकल व्यूज़ में गलत तरीके से इफेक्ट हो सकता है हमारा. ठीक है, बिकॉज हमारे पास एजुकेशन इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. रिमेंबर, ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दैट. अगर हम लोग एजुकेटेड रहेंगे तो हम लोगों को उसके पीछे जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही है हमारे कंट्री में, हमारे वर्ल्ड में, हम लोगों को पता चल जाता है कि इसके पीछे एक्चुअली एजेंडा क्या है. ठीक है, सो व्हेंस यू आर एजुकेटेड, नोबडी कैन ब्रेन वॉश यू. ठीक है, ब्रेन वॉश करना आसान नहीं होता है हमारे, जब अगर हमारे पास एजुकेशन होता है, बिकॉज यू टेंड टू रीजन आउट कि ये क्यों हो रहा है, ये ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था. ठीक है, सो देर आर मेनी थिंग्स रिलेटेड टू एजुकेशन, सो इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू गेट एजुकेटेड. ओके, एंड दैट अलॉन्ग विद दैट, अगर हमारी गवर्नमेंट हमारी बेसिक नीड्स को देख रही है, नहीं देख रही है, अगर हमारे को बराबर से खाना मिल रहा है, कपड़ा मिल रहा है, शेल्टर्स मिल रहे हैं, रहने के लिए मेडिसिन मिल रही है, खाने के लिए, लाइक नाउअडेज there was a pandemic which was going on for the last 1 year. Okay, and now recently they have come up with the vaccine. Okay, so government is doing some or the other thing for the benefit of the people around. एंड अगर अच्छी तरीके की मेडिसिन और प्रॉपर मेडिकल फैसिलिटीज मिलेगी तो हमारी वेलबींग भी अच्छी होगी. ठीक है, एंड दैट ऑल ऑल दीज थिंग्स, हमारा जो घर है रहने का, हमारा जो फाइनेंशियल स्टेटस है, आसपास में गार्डन्स है नहीं है, प्लेग्राउंड्स है या नहीं है हमें खेलने के लिए, इंटरैक्ट करने के लिए. See, gardens and playgrounds are place where people play, they interact with each other. Okay, so these are all important things in our society, in our surroundings. ठीक है, अगर इसमें से कोई भी चीज सही नहीं होती है, कुछ इफेक्ट प्रॉब्लम होता है, तो ये सारी चीज सोशल हेल्थ पे इफेक्ट कर सकती है. ओके, आई होप दिस इज क्लियर नाउ. Now let's come to what exactly are we trying to talk about social health. Out of the various aspects of social health, we thought about only one in the above mentioned activity. Social health is the ability of a person to establish relationship with other person. ठीक है, तो मैंने आप लोगों को बोला था in the previous slide also, I told you that it is very important to go outside and bond with people around you. So social health is nothing but this only, to establish a good relationship with other person. The ability to change one's own behavior according to the changing social condition is an important characteristic of social health. Now, earlier when the pandemic started, I'm just giving a very simple example. When people came to know about coronavirus, what did we do? We started wearing masks. We started staying at home. We started living in the house for a longer time, not going outside unnecessarily, not playing. Okay, now ये हम लोग क्यों कर रहे हैं? ताकि हम लोग खुद भी बचे रहें, हमारे घर में जो लोग हैं वो भी ये बीमारी से बचे रहें, right? So we are changing our own behavior, we are changing our own conditions according to to fit into the society and to stay healthy, and we make sure that others are also doing good. So various factors like strong personality. Apart from that, we have to remember that our personalities, having large number of friends and relatives, proper use of time during loneliness and with peer groups, trust in others, respect and acceptance for others are important for good social health. Now, we have all seen that various factors affect the social health. We have seen that in a previous slide, which are the factors which affect the social health. And those are very important. Apart from that, हमारी जो पर्सनालिटी है, किस तरीके से हम लोग हमारे फ्रेंड्स को हैंडल करते हैं, अगर कुछ चीज़ हो जाती है, कोई प्रॉब्लम आ जाता है, तो किस तरीके से हम लोग प्रॉब्लम को सॉर्ट आउट करते हैं. Then, if you have a large number of friends and relatives, how you are interacting with each one of them. ऐसा नहीं है कि हम लोगों को एक ही से बात करना है, एक ग्रुप से बात नहीं करना. यू शुड नॉट डू दैट. यू शुड मेक यूज ऑफ योर लोन टाइम. हमारा जो, अगर हम लोग अकेले हैं तो किस तरीके से हम लोग उसे यूटिलाइज करें, कुछ गलत काम नहीं करना चाहिए. फ्रेंड्स लोग के साथ में है तो किस तरीके से हमारा जो टाइम है हम लोग उसे वर्दी बना सकते हैं, लाइक यू आर कमिंग अप विद समथिंग न्यू इंटरेस्टिंग आइडियाज एंड डूइंग इट अप. Okay, all that things are very important to maintain a good social health. Let us see the factors disturbing the social health. First is mental stress. Okay, if you're thinking too much about a particular situation that you are in right now, you must be thinking कि किस तरीके से हम लोग हमारा एग्जाम पास करेंगे, किस तरीके से पेपर लिखेंगे, पेपर के बाद हम लोग क्या करेंगे, और किस तरीके से रिजल्ट्स आने के बाद कौन से कॉलेजेस में जाएंगे. Now all these things are mental, causing you mental stress. Okay, that is a simple example of mental stress. Addiction. Addiction means किसी भी तरीके की लत लगना. For example, drugs, alcohol, smoking, tobacco. Okay, these are all coming under addiction. Chronic diseases like cancer, tuberculosis, AIDS. Okay, nowadays you have coronavirus also. These are all important things which are disturbing the social health. Okay, so अगर stress में है तो हमारी social health affect होती है, अगर हम लोग addiction कर रहे हैं तो भी हमारी social health affect करती है, because a person who is addicted is not good with people around. They do not communicate much. Okay, they stay lonely, they sit idle, and when they are idle they tend to take drugs or do any kind of addiction that they are into. Okay, then you have chronic diseases. People who are suffering from chronic disease are also not socially healthy along with other people. Okay, so these are a few things that we'll be learning in detail. So nowadays we'll be we have heard about a lot of mental stress going on, right? So Mental stress comes with the situation around us. Okay, कंपटीशन हैज़ इंक्रीज इन अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ फॉर एजुकेशन. हम लोग देखते हैं कि जब बच्चा छोटा होता है तब से जब उसका एडमिशन होने लगता है तब से ही कंपटीशन चालू हो जाता है कि कौन सा बच्चा ज़्यादा अच्छा करता है, उस हिसाब से उसे एडमिशन मिलेगा. उस तरीके से उसे ग्रेड्स के ऊपर जज किया जाता है ताकि उसे कॉलेज में एडमिशन मिले. ओके, हाउ दे डू इन फील्ड्स एंड इन बिजनेसेस. ओके, एंड ड्यू टू इंक्रीजिंग पॉपुलेशन दिस कंपटीशन हैज़ इंक्रीज्ड अ लॉट, राइट. कि अगर लोग ज़्यादा हैं, पॉपुलेशन ज़्यादा है और जॉब कम है, तो उसमें ऑब्वियस सी बात है कि कंपटीशन भी ज़्यादा होना चाहिए. ठीक है, तो उस हिसाब से लोग मेहनत भी ज़्यादा कर रहे हैं ताकि हम लोगों को वो जगह मिल सके बिजनेस में, या फिर हमें वो एजुकेशन फील्ड में जाने का अगर जाना हो अगर हमें, तो वी कुड डू दैट. ओके, सो देयर इज द कंपटीशन इज इंक्रीजिंग बिकॉज ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन. Children are facing the problems of loneliness and mental stress due to reasons like nuclear family and parents staying outdoors due to job. In many various homes, due to lack of financial stability, parents have to go outside and do jobs. Both the parents have to work. Okay, and we have seen that children face a lot of problem due to that because they have nobody to talk to. Okay, so I would just like to tell you that if your parents are working, they are doing something good for you. Okay, it is not that they are not doing good for you. They're going out so that they can build a better house for you. They can give you whatever you feel like. And if you find that your parents are you if you when your parents are home, you should see to it that you talk to them. Okay, they will give you time. And there are people who say that there are people who do not have huge families. There are nuclear families nowadays. अर्लियर पीपल लोगों के पास रहने के लिए जगह थी तो वहाँ पर बहुत सारे लोग एक साथ मिलकर रहते थे. बट नाउ डेज आजकल घर इतने छोटे छोटे हो गए हैं कि बहुत सारे लोग एक साथ रह नहीं सकते. ओके, सो द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ जॉइंट फैमिली has reduced a lot nowadays. And nuclear family means people who are living only mother, father, and the kids. Okay, they do not have grandparents, they do not have uncles and aunts living with them. So they do not have many people with whom they can interact, right? तो वहाँ पर भी ये प्रॉब्लम आ जाती है कि उन लोगों के पास लोग नहीं है बोलने के लिए. But you can always see to it that you go outside you can go to your relatives and talk to them. Okay, and you can come to know so many new things which are happening in their life. There are many bindings on girls and excessive freedom for boys in some families. Okay, we're not talking about in general. We're talking in some families that girls are forbidden from doing certain things, that they're supposed to come house at a particular time, they have to dress in a particular way. Okay, now that is all done so that the girls have to follow certain rules, but boys do not have such rules. ठीक है, but ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. There should be rules for both boys as well as girls, and they should be taught manners both. uh, दोनों के genders को differentiate नहीं करना चाहिए. But this happens, ऐसा होता है घरों में, कुछ कुछ घरों में ऐसा होता है जहाँ लड़कों को कुछ बोला नहीं जाता है, and that is completely wrong. Okay, the boys need to be taught well, they should be well mannered as far as considered as girls are taught. जैसे लड़कियों को सिखाया जाता है कि you should be well mannered, you should be talking like this in a certain particular way. You should always see, even boys need to see to it that how they are speaking, is it polite enough. You should see to it that you do not hurt others feeling. People should not discriminate between both girls and boys, but this happens and that causes mental stress. Okay, in some families this causes mental stress. So boys enjoy the concession from their domestic duties, whereas girls have compulsions for the same on the pretext that should be used to it. Okay, हम लोगों को बोला जाता है कि आप लड़की हो, आपको तो खाना पकाना आना ही चाहिए. ठीक है, now that is a thing which causes a mental stress for the girls from the very beginning. बचपन से ही सिखाया जाता है कि ये लड़कियों का काम है, ये लड़की को ही करना है. तो ये एक मेंटल स्ट्रेस बनता जाता है हमारे दिमाग में कि नहीं, ये हमारा ही काम है, हमको ये करना ही है. इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट. ओके, आई एम जस्ट मेकिंग इट वेरी क्लियर. कुकिंग, क्लीनिंग is a thing that everybody should know, whether it is a male or a female, whether it is a boy or a girl. Okay, so आपको खाना पकाना आना चाहिए, boys को भी खाना पकाना आना चाहिए. If you're going abroad, staying abroad, so you should know how to cook for yourself. If somebody is fallen sick in your family, like your mother is not keeping well, You should be able to cook something for the people in the house. Okay, ऐसा नहीं है कि बहन है तो वही काम करेगी या मम्मी है तो वही काम करेंगे. It is not like that. So you should not in the house also, it should not be a scenario अगर आपको बोला जाता है कि लड़कों का काम नहीं है ये, but you should come up, boys should come up with that, no, I can help you mama, or they can ask your sisters, you can ask your sisters to help them out कि नहीं हम लोग आपकी हेल्प करते हैं. ठीक है, so it is a very good thing to reduce mental stress in the family. In society too, adolescent girls must unnecessarily face the problems like teasing and molestation. Nowadays this is happening a lot. People do not understand that girls are not a materialistic thing, that they can tease, they can molest, they can touch them anywhere they like. It is not like that. Okay, so जब लड़कियां बड़ी होती हैं तो उन्हें ये सारी चीज़ों का बहुत सारा, ये बड़ी लड़कियों की बात ही नहीं हो रही है. There are nowadays even small babies and small girls who are 2-3 years old, they are being molested. Okay, we have learned so many, we have seen so many cases in the news channels and in the newspapers that a girl has been raped who was just 3 years old, or a 9-year-old girl. So this is all causing much stress to the girls who are going outside. When they're going outside to study, or if they're going in some other city to study, the parents go through a lot of stress, the girls go through a lot of stress. Okay, so girls are facing the problem of stress due to such gender inequality. Nowadays everyone must face the stress due to ever increasing disorder, crime and violence. Earlier people did not have, हमारी सोसाइटी में इतना क्राइम नहीं होता था बट नॉट एट सच अ रेट. अभी ये जो लोग डिसिप्लिन नहीं है, ओके, दे आर टेकिंग द लॉ एंड ऑर्डर फॉर ग्रांटेड. कहीं पर भी कुछ भी कर देना, क्राइम करना, वायलेंस, झगड़े करना, मारपीट करना, दिस इज ऑल कंसिडर्ड, दिस इज ऑल वेरी कैजुअल नाउ डेज. हम लोगों को बहुत दिखाई देता है और हम लोगों को ये डर लगा रहता है कि कब अगला कुछ हो ना जाए, राइट? At the same time, people looking at this as fast and easy way of making money may become a scapegoat and become part of such system. This is the deadly effect of social illness. Okay, so it is very important for us to come to know कि किसी भी तरीके का disorder, violence या फिर किसी भी तरीके से बुराई जो भी होती है, इट इज़ नॉट गुड. वो टेम्पररीली किसी को पैसा मिल सकता है उसकी वजह से, या फिर उनके लिए अच्छा हो सकता है, बट लॉन्ग रन के लिए ना ही हमारे लिए, ना ही हमारी सोशल हेल्थ के लिए ये गुड है. इट इज़ नॉट एट ऑल गुड. इट इज़ ओनली क्रिएटिंग स्ट्रेस इन अस एंड इन आवर people around us. Addiction, a very important thing that I would like to talk upon, that is addiction. Peer group influence is stronger in case of adolescent. Right now, I can say that in your class there would be about 3-4 boys or girls who are addicted to some or the other kind of things. Okay, that could be watching something wrong on the internet. Okay, it is not always, addiction is not always related to drugs or tobacco, smoking or drinking. It could be addiction of watching something wrong on the websites. Okay, so that could be done because of the friends. If you do not know a particular thing, you come to know from outside, your friends or some of the other source. If you're coming to know something bad about from your friends, then that means that your friends are not good to be kept. Because if a friend is taking you to somebody, to something which is not good for your health or your mental stability, then that is wrong. Okay, हम लोगों को फौरन उस चीज़ के लिए नहीं बोलना चाहिए और वो चीज़ नहीं करनी चाहिए, even if your friends are forcing you to do so. At this age, it seems that I'm talking about your friends, but at this age, friends are the only people who we think are good, और हमें हमारे parents, teachers सब बकवास लगते हैं. But it is not like that. Okay, always remember that this is a phase where you feel like that your friends are good and they are the only people who are understanding you, and that leads to many kids going to a particular type of addiction. ठीक है, because your peer group influence is stronger in case of adolescence. Adolescence always prefers the company of friends and follow their good or bad habits instead of following advice of parents and teachers. Right, as I told you, हमारी बात या आपके पेरेंट्स की बात आप लोगों को लगता है कि ये लोग बेकार है, ये लोग बुड्ढे लोग हैं, they are just talking nonsense, they don't know what is going on in our life and in the in our proper in your generation, we would say. Okay, even when we were of your age, we used to think the same. Okay, but that age passes and you should always come think about that thing कि कभी भी हम लोग हमारे फ्रेंड्स की वजह से कोई गलत काम हम लोगों को नहीं करना है, ठीक है। इट इज़ नॉट दैट योर फ्रेंड्स आर ऑलवेज रॉन्ग एंड योर फ्रेंड्स आर ऑलवेज राइट, it is you who decide. Okay, so children at this early age, that is your age, they try upon tobacco. कोई फ्रेंड बोलता चलो चलो आज सिगरेट पी के देखते हैं कैसा लगता है, या फिर गुटखा खा के देखते हैं, या अल्कोहल पी के देखते हैं, या फिर कभी कभार जो ड्रग्स डीलर्स होते हैं वो आपके स्कूल के पास ही होते हैं, बिकॉज एट योर एज इट इज़ वेरी इजी टू मेक यू ऑल अडिक्टेड टू अ पर्टिकुलर काइंड ऑफ थिंग, ठीक है। और उन लोगों को क्या, उन लोगों को पैसे मिलते हैं, आप लोग एडिक्ट हो जाते हो कोई चीज़ से तो यू टेंड टू स्पेंड मनी ऑन दैट। अब हम लोग जब एडिक्शन कोई चीज़ का लग जाता है तो हम लोग उसके ऊपर पैसा खर्चा करने लगते हैं। अगर हम लोगों के पास पैसा नहीं होता है देन पीपल स्टार्ट टू रॉब, चोरी करने लगते हैं, दे स्टील मनी, दे रॉब फ्रॉम सम ऑफ द अदर पीपल, दे डोंट नो व्हाट टू डू, व्हाट इज राइट एंड रॉन्ग, okay, and that is very dangerous. Due to other peer group pressure or symbol of high standard living or as an imitation of elders, we do that. हम लोग पिक्चर्स में देखते हैं, टेलीविजन में बताते हैं कि वो एक हीरो सिगरेट स्मोक कर रहा है, ही इज ड्रिंकिंग, सो वी टेंड टू चलो हम लोग भी ट्राई करते हैं, हम लोग भी देखते हैं किस तरीके से फील होता है, ठीक है। बट इट इज़ नॉट अ गुड थिंग टू डू. I would say that again and again. When you will grow up and when you will turn into your, when you will go into your 20s and 30s, you will come to know that how stupid you all were at that particular age. Okay. However, it may lead to addiction to such deadly substances, temporarily intoxicating drugs of plant origin, and some chemicals with may permanently damage the human nervous system, muscle systems, heart, etc. Because at that particular age I'm talking about, at the age of 30, 35, you will come to know कि अगर ये तरीके का addiction ये हम लोग ने smoking कर लिया तो अब it is very difficult to leave that addiction, and due to that you could have any kind of cancer could happen, ठीक है। हम लोगों को पता है कि ड्रग्स लेने से या फिर किसी भी तरीके का कोई भी तरीके के एडिक्शन की वजह से देर आर मेनी प्रॉब्लम्स इन योर बॉडी दैट डैमेज योर बॉडी, ठीक है। इसीलिए आपके पेरेंट्स आप लोगों को कभी भी तंबाकू खाने नहीं बोलते हैं या सामने से सिगरेट्स नहीं देते पीने के लिए। क्यों नहीं देते आपके पेरेंट्स ये सब, आपको पता है, कभी सोचो आप लोगों ने? बिकॉज दे आर नॉट गुड फॉर यू, they are something which is this is something which is not good for your health, and that is why your parents are not giving you this. Always remember, जो चीज आपके पेरेंट्स आपको नहीं दे रहे और आपको छुप कर करना पड़ रहा है, that is something wrong. Okay, that will cause problem in your body, mentally also and physically also. Always remember this. Earlier we have studied that carcinogenic effects of tobacco containing substances on your mouth and lungs. So when you smoke, when you eat tobacco, it will cause cancer. It can cause cancer of your mouth, your tongue, your neck, or your throat, or your lungs. Okay, okay, it could be any part. कैंसर किसी भी पार्ट का हो सकता है, एंड रिमेंबर अगर मुंह का कैंसर होता है तो उतना पूरा पार्ट काट कर निकाल दिया जाता है, टंग होती है तो टंग को काट कर निकाल दिया जाता है। इट कुड बी, इट इज़ वेरी सिवियर थिंग, एंड इट इज़ ऑलवेज preferable that at this age you do not get into any addiction, okay, and this leads to various problems in our society. Remember that there are certain incurable diseases, factors like ignorance towards the people with incurable diseases like AIDS, tuberculosis, leprosy, and mental disorders, as well as old person leads to increase in old age homes, and such factors also may change and harm the social health. Okay, now we have learned about why people suffering from AIDS, what happens actually in a person suffering from AIDS. They are not they, it is not like that they're breathing and you can get AIDS. Okay, so AIDS does not spread by touching or by sitting with them, eating with them. Okay, and always remember that there are certain types of diseases which cannot be cured, like AIDS. Now tuberculosis can be cured, okay, but leprosy nowadays it is very less. There are cases of leprosy that you see, but there are certain diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, AIDS. These are not curable diseases. Like people who are when people turn old, they tend to lose their memory, Alzheimer. Now in that case also, that is incurable disease, but that causes certain problems in our families, in our surroundings and people around us, and that could be one of the reason for social problems in the social health. All right. Okay, so here let us see. You must have read the news about many deaths due to poisonous liquor. What does it? Why does it happen? Liquor is produced from alcohol obtained through fermentation of substances. हम लोग ने पढ़ चुके हैं in the chapters where of how wine and alcohol is made because of fermentation of various products like molasses, etc., grapes, and all. However, if this process is performed in a wrong way, poisonous liquor is produced and proves fatal for many at a time. Efficiency of nervous system, that especially brain and liver, as well as lifespan of person decreases due to alcoholism. Brain development in adolescence is hindered due to alcoholism, and thereby ability of memorization and learning becomes slow. Addictive person cannot think rationally. Due to this, the person must face the social, mental and familial illness along with physical illness. ठीक है, तो जब एक इंसान दारू पीता है, शराब पीता है, वो इंसान को कोई पसंद नहीं करता आसपास में, बिकॉज व्हेन दे ड्रिंक दे लूज द कंट्रोल. ओके, एंड वंस अ पर्सन इज नॉट अंडर हिज मेंटल कंट्रोल, what will happen is he tends to hit somebody in the house. छोटी छोटी चीज़ों पे गुस्सा आ जाता है, मारने लग जाते हैं, चीज़ें फेंकने लग जाते हैं, यहाँ गिरते हैं वहाँ गिरते हैं. सो alcoholism is not something good. Always remember that. थोड़ा ज़्यादा कुछ भी हो, it is going to affect you. और ये हमारी बॉडी को तो इफेक्ट करता ही है. कुछ अगर लिकर सही तरीके से नहीं प्रिपेयर होती है तो मस्ट हैव हर्ड के बहुत सारे लोग, कुछ हजार लोग, कुछ 100 लोग मर गए द शराब, जहरीली शराब पीने से. यू मस्ट हैव हर्ड दिस डायलॉग इन द न्यूज चैनल्स. नाउ व्हाट एग्जैक्टली हैपेंस इज, वो लिकर सही से नहीं बनी होगी या वो जो शराब थी वो सही तरीके से प्रोसेस नहीं हुई होगी, तो उस वजह से इट बिकेम पॉइजनस फॉर दोज पीपल एंड पीपल डाइड. And remember that it damages your brain cells, alcohol. And at an early age, if you are addicted at this particular age, or in your early adolescence age, there are chances that it will reduce your memorization power because it affects your brain. Okay, तो आप लोगों को कुछ भी याद रहना बहुत difficult हो जाता है. It also damages your liver. Okay, or remember, liver is very important part of your body. It also affects your nervous system. It does not make you stable. हम लोग चल नहीं पाते सही तरीके से. आप लोग ने देखे होंगे कि एक शराबी आदमी किस तरीके से चलता है. He doesn't walk straight. He often tends to move like here and there. He falls here and there. And because of which हमारी जो हमारे आसपास के लोग हमें पसंद नहीं करते. They make keep a distance from us, and that causes a lot of social, mental and physical familial issues in us. ठीक है, हमारे फैमिली मेम्बर्स हम लोगों को पसंद नहीं करते हैं, हम लोगों से दूर रहते हैं, तो उस वजह से हमारे पे हमें भी प्रॉब्लम्स क्रिएट होते हैं, हमारे लिए भी प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं अपार्ट फ्रॉम फिजिकल इलनेसेस. ओके, so this is a very important thing that you should remember and not fall into any type of addiction. This picture that you see, this is a then and now picture that is there in your textbook, and which is very interesting. Earlier our parents used to tell us to come inside the house and study, right? But nowadays they have to tell you to go outside and play. Now why is it so? Because communication, media and excessive use of modern technology. हमारे आसपास में बहुत सारी चीज़ें आ गई हैं, लाइक टेलीविजन, यू हैव मोबाइल फोन्स, along with the mobile phones you have internet, Wi-Fi connections. Now all these things are not letting you go out and play with your friends. There are many places where you hardly go out and play with your friends. Now this is that picture that is showing you. Earlier people, your mother used to tell you to come in and study. Nowadays your parents are pushing you, go out and play, don't watch the phone throughout the day and night. Okay, nowadays excessive, unnecessary and irrational use of modern technology and communication media is becoming a sensitive issue through the viewpoint of social health. Because in social health, what did we study? It was very important to communicate with the people around us, and if it is not there, that means social health is hindered. Persons spending the time with cell phones or for several hours are usually unaware of the surrounding. हमारे आसपास में क्या हो रहा है, क्या हो गया है, क्या होने वाला है, we are not aware of all this, right? Because we are so much engrossed into the YouTube and the Instagrams and the Facebooks, WhatsApp, all these things, and especially games. This is also a sort of addiction and leading to endangering of the social health.
This session was quite useful to you. In the next coming period, we'll learn something new and interesting. Till then, thank you.